going to happen. We started with almost 8 schools, and now we are down to the 4. The first semi-finals for this year's Western Champions Congo District at Padron Secondary School. We had 8 schools, and now we are down to 4. And breaking to the semi-finals, we have the team of Bobby that will be taking us in team negatives. So please, team Bobby, come and take your seats. So team Bobby is going to be the negative team in this debate, semi-finals. It will help us determine which team is going to provide to the grand final. Team Bobby. And then on the proposition side, we have one elegant side over that is Team Spice. So Team Spice, please come and take a seat. Come and take a seat. So the motion for this year's first semi-finals reads: this House prefers environmental activism, shifting its focus to protecting animals over the environment itself. On team proposition, we have Spice. On team proposition, we have Bobby. They'll be dancing today, telling us what they think is the best option that ought to be done to ensure that we achieve what the motion is trying to intend. We shall listen to their arguments, then at the end of the day we shall determine which team proceeds to the finals. And the rules are very simple. First speakers shall have 4 minutes, second and third speakers shall have 3 minutes, we shall have 2 minutes to reply speeches. And remember, the first minute and the last minute of our speaker is a protected minute. No questions shall be asked at that time. And please, when you're left with 5 seconds to end your time, we shall start counting from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When it is done, it is done. All together. Are we on consensus? You can take your seats. You can take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, today in the final, we have 3 judges who will be taking you through the semi-finals. I, Young Richard Ademi, I'll be the lead judge in this round. I'll be assisted by Lobo Given. Can wait. Lobo Given, he will be assisting me alongside Lasso Christopher, who is here with me. So the 3 of us shall come up with a conclusive argument as to which team we believe have done what the motion needs and qualifies the semi-finals. With this, I beg to give the room open for the debate session. Thank you. You begin when you're ready.
Thank you very much.
directly on animals, which is sentient beings, or indirectly via ecosystems, systems that sustain all life. Our case here, for us supporting the motion, we believe that environmental activists should shift their focus to protect animals and indirectly protect ecosystems. Our parameter is world and life status quo is scientists prove that many animals are getting extinct basically because of lack of protection. Our arguments are animals are the most vulnerable, victims. Animals are essential to ecosystem functioning. Wildlife tourism supports ecosystem strong public engagement. I will take some points while my other speaker will come and take the rest. Stronger public engagement. People emotionally connect more with animals than ecosystems. You can't say that people come and connect more with plants. You find that in the century where we are, or even the past century, people connect more with animals because they know that they are all of the same species. They feel pain. Yes, most of the animals fall in the mammals, and humans are mammals, so they connect more than humans connect more with animals than they connect with ecosystems. The charismatic species like lions, elephants, and whales, they drive action. You find that when you find charismatic species, these big, cute animals, lions, elephants, and whales are trying to be disappearing, you find that it will make people to connect more and feel the need to save this. And that's why we come with examples of anti-poaching campaigns for elephants, especially the African elephants in Kenya and Uganda, increased funding and awareness in parts of Africa. The Save the Whales movement helped reduce commercial whaling, whereby they're killing this whale, they went for the Save the Whales movement because there's stronger public engagement where people connect more with these animals. Animals are disappearing faster than ecosystems. The problem is that species extinction is happening at an alarming rate. Why this problem arises is habitat destruction and hunting causes animals to die faster than conservation efforts can save them. You find that these people say that they are going to shift the focus. The opposition come and say they are going to shift their focus on environment to protect animals as well. But instead, it does not. I like to rest my case here. Thank you. The different explanation here, scientists warn that we are in biodiversity crisis where thousands of species are disappearing. If animals disappear, first ecosystems collapse later. Because some of these ecosystems they exist because of the animals. How do they coexist with each other? You find that the carbon dioxide that the animals release during their respiration is taken in by the plants, and then the plants release their oxygen. But now, if we don't protect these animals, they are going extinct. Slowly by slowly, especially the African elephants. In many parts of Africa, they are going extinct. It's where the action was driven in only Kenya and Uganda that they are protected highly. How are they protected? And someone come and say we cage them. No, there are other better ways by putting laws that protect these animals, like the anti-cruelty laws, whereby the humans now connect emotionally with animals and then sensitizing people on how to protect animals. Thank you very much. I'll start my speech in 1, 2, 3. You cannot tell me that you are going to protect the child without the mother.
So, panel of Judy, you cannot tell me that you are going to protect the child without the mother. What am I trying to mean here? The environment itself is the one protecting the animals in it, so why don't you protect the environment? Panel of Judy, she came here, she was speaking about pain. Now, if she was speaking that animals feel pain and then they are emotionally connected to humans, why don't we first protect the place they live in so that they will also reduce this kind of problems like they're facing pain and what? Panel of Judy, we believe in Uganda animals are indirectly or directly protected because we have laws in Uganda. What are the laws? We have national wildlife protection, so we believe that animals are protected. Now, what am I trying to mean, panel of Judy? I'm trying to mean that we should shift. We should more focus on the environment because the environment is the place they live in. You cannot tell me that you're going to protect animals without the environment, panel of Judy. Now back to the resolution that says this house prefers environmental activism shifting its focus to protecting animals over the environment itself. Now, what is our stance as the team Negative panel? Did we oppose shifting focus to animals over the environment? Environmental activism should privatize the environment because it is the foundation of all life, including animals. So what are the animals we are looking at here? We are looking at mammals, we are looking at fish, and we are looking at birds. This is where we are going to characterize ourselves majorly on. So we believe that we should protect the place they live in. And then you can save the environment without the animals, but you cannot save the animals without the environment. This is what I was talking about. Now, why do we oppose the motion panel of Judy? Moral and practical justification. Ecosystems are foundational. Now, animals rely on habitat, climate, stability, and biodiversity to survive. Without functioning ecosystem, species face extinction, food chains collapses. So we believe that if we don't protect the environment, animals will not, like, the food chain will not be intact. Panel of Judy. So we believe that we should protect the environment. Now, animals protection over environment is short-term and sufficient. We cannot privatize the system over the symptom over the cause. Panel of Judy. This is what I was talking about. And then now, B. Indirect protection already exists. That was what I was talking about. Animals are protected indirectly or directly. So why don't we focus on the place that we are facing the major causes on? Like the environment is facing a lot of problems, so we believe that we should focus on it most. Now effective activism must prioritize root causes, not just symptoms. Now, 3. How? Implementation. How are we going to implement our mechanism? Panel of Judy, we are going to protect ecosystem, enforce laws to protect deforestation, pollution, and overfishing. That is going to fall under protecting the animals. Panel of Judy. So we are going to protect. And then B, we are going to tackle root causes. Now, what are the root causes of this? Panel, we believe that climate change, habitat destruction, and pollution are major drivers of animal extinction. So we believe that animals, like, what are the root causes? We believe that animals are endangered through different things, like, we talk about this, like poaching, industrialization, and by stopping these animals are protected indirectly, working efficiently. Now, see, that is going to be resource allocation, focus funds, and activism on climate mitigation, habit preservation, pollution control. So we believe that here we are also indirectly protecting the animals. We are going to allocate resources that are going to protect them. Now, what is the impact? This is going to ensure maximum impact for animals and human alike. So here we are going to protect them. Now, panel of Judy, we are basically going to base our argument. So 2 things. 1 is going to be ecosystems are foundational and root causes. B, indirect animal protection is more effective. I'll be taking the first point, that is indirect animal protection is more effective. So I'd like to raise my case.
So much. I'll begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Before I proceed, I would like to start where the opposition side spoke of some things. I would like to clarify something here. They spoke of protecting the entire environment. You spoke of protecting the entire environment. You said it includes the protection of the animals. But how come poaching is still taking place? They also say that they misunderstood us. They misunderstood us in the point that they were saying that they started with they saying that how do you protect a child without a mother? But we are saying here that protecting this, we are saying that we are protecting these animals. Not only these animals, we are protecting the environment too. Because you cannot protect the animals without protecting the environment. If you don't protect the environment, how will you protect the animals? Straight away to my point. Animals are the most vulnerable victims. So what are we saying here? You take example of these animals are very vulnerable. They don't have any way of protecting themselves. For example, we human beings, we have weapons that we use for hunting down these animals. Why does this problem arise? We're saying there is what we call illegal poaching, habitat destruction. For example, people tend to drain swamps in order to get land for whatever, for crop production. They also say that we also say the impacts of we protecting these animals, it shall save what we call the species which are very rare. For example, the white rhino. If you check it right now, it is getting extinct. So what we are saying here is that we should protect the animals more because they are more vulnerable than the environment itself. The other point is wildlife tourism supports economies. For example, if you take the economy of Uganda, according to statistics, you'll check that what people are mainly coming here, what tourists are coming mainly to see in Uganda, they are the plants. They are coming, not plants, I mean, the animals. For example, the hippopotamuses and other types of animals. So it brings what we call economy. It supports the economy, it brings government revenue. So the impact here, we are saying that protecting animals creates tourism jobs. For example, these poor guides. It protects the animals, meanwhile giving the people opportunities to work. We also said it motivates communities to conserve wildlife. Now, if you don't protect these animals, this community will still continue cutting down these animals. So what we are saying here is that we should protect the animals more because they are more vulnerable. All right, to rest my case.
Before I start my speech, for clarity, in case you have any BOI, feel free to raise it or answer it. Now, I'm going to start my speech by this sentence. You cannot save animals without the environment, but you can still save the environment without the animals. Now, this drives us to this motion that the House prefers environmental activism, shifting its focus to protecting animals over the environment itself. Now, what did we expect from Team Affirmatives? They should tell us how their system looks like, and then secondly, they are to tell us what they are going to do for the environment, because they are saying shifting doesn't mean like now shifting from a system completely. So they are going to still cater for the animals, but they have not proven for us how they are going to still cater for the animals that they are going to leave behind. They are focusing more right on the animals, but they are leaving the environment. Then how are they going to focus on the environment? Then how do they intend to protect the animals? Then they asked us a question that why is poaching still taking place? But now I want to clarify it in this motion. Poaching is taking place because of the weakness in the system that exists, because we believe there are systems that protect the wildlife, right? That means there is weakness in the system. It doesn't mean that it is a weakness from the environment. Then why can't we strengthen the system that is protecting the animals? That's where we protect the animals from being killed by the poachers. Now, what do we get from our side of the house? Our side of the house is to tell you that we are not shifting our focus to protecting the animals because we believe there are already bodies to protect the animals. But we have to look at the root causes. Why are these animals suffering? Because we categorize the animals into three. That is the mammals, birds, and fishes. Now, when we look at the fishes, how do the fish suffer? It is because of water pollution. That's already environmental impact. Now, how do the birds suffer? It is because of still destruction of habitats. That is still environmental factor. Now, how do the mammals suffer? It is still because of environmental factor. Then why can't we still tackle the root causes? What are the problems that is happening right now? We see deforestation, right? Then when we see deforestation and water pollution, why can't we focus a system where we can solve the problem of deforestation, where we can solve the problem of water pollution? That is where we base our system on the argument that we tell you that no, they should not shift their focus there, but they should protect the environment. Then what do we achieve at the end of the day? If deforestation is restricted, if deforestation is restricted, you find that habitats of the animals will still be safe. Therefore, animals will continue to multiply. Those are the things that we achieve at the end of the day. Now, when we look at the aspect of pollution, if pollution is mitigated, for instance, because we believe pollution comes from human beings and from those industries. Now, when we treat the industrial waste, what are we going to achieve at the end of the day? That means the fishes in the water, they're going to live safely. Now, what is the point of argument? Indirect animal protection is more effective. Now, we got from the first speaker that ecosystems are foundational and their root. Now we tackle the root causes, whereby I explain to you that animals depend on healthy ecosystem. You cannot look for ways of protecting the animals, but they have not proven for us how they're going to protect the animals. You find that when you look at the apartment that you're protecting the animals, you have to protect the environment first, and then the animals come in the protection automatically. Therefore, we want to win this debate because we are able to prove for you that neither we should not focus on a system whereby we are going to shift the focus, but we should tackle the problem with the environment first. Why are the fishes suffering? Why are the birds suffering? Why are the mammals suffering? When we tackle those problems, really, we're winning this debate. Now, Pano, I would like to raise my piece at this point that we want them to come and clearly tell us, because we achieve impacts like indirect animal protection, strategic resource allocation, and ecosystem survival. I would like to raise this case by Scorpion or Mind Our Voice, Our Victory. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I would like to start my speech in 1, 2, 3. Somebody spoke that we have not mentioned the ways of caring for the environment. But you know that as well as if we protect animals, we are protecting the environment. Of course, if we protect water bodies, if we protect animals, if we protect the fish in the water body, it is the same way. If we protect the fish that is in the water body, that means we have to make sure that the water body is clean. In that way, that means we are also we are protecting the environment. Somebody spoke like plants disappearing. So if we are also protecting these animals, we shall be able to sensitize the people, tell the people that you people, if you keep on cutting this, if you keep cutting down on these trees, people, plants, animals will have no food to feed on. So we are here saying that we have provided a solution. Like even if industries release a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, we say we go and put strategies for these industries that let them not release carbon dioxide into the air, because it will affect the plants, and as they affect the plants, they will be affecting these animals here. So we are also saying that somebody spoke that you cannot protect animals without protecting the environment. Focusing on animals is more direct and practical entry point. When you protect animals, you automatically protect their habitats too. Therefore, animal-focused activism indirectly safeguards the environment. So we see that here, focusing on the environment. The environment is too broad. In the environment, there is water, there is the soil, there is the atmosphere. That is the whole of the environment. But we are saying that if we focus on this environment, it is too broad. But let's go to direct point. We focus on these animals. Because if we focus on animals, we protect the water body. If we focus on animals, we protect the atmosphere. If we focus on animals, we protect the plants. So some also say that the environment is all that important. But broad focus often becomes too vague and ineffective. Animal protection gives clear, specific goals like safe species, making activism more impactful. Therefore, clear focus leads to measurable success. So here, if we keep on focusing on this environment, we shall not achieve something, because there are very many things that we have to focus on. But here, if we focus on animals, after all, we have to protect their habitats, we have to protect where they live. That means here, we are winning this debate. Then now, somebody also say that environmental activism already includes animals. So, in practice, animals are often unprioritized compared to climate policies or pollution issues. Therefore, shifting focus corrects the imbalance. So here the problem is that if we take the broader environment issue, animals will not be prioritized. People will keep on focusing on pollution. People will keep on focusing on industrialization. But people will forget about the animals. So we are here saying that if we protect these animals, it will bring us to direct focus. It will bring us to the direct point. So now, dear judge, at this stage, there's no need now for us to introduce a new point. But it's about answering this question, central question. Which approach actually serves the environment more effectively? The debate is not all about animals, it's not all about what. But which approach serves the environment effectively? However, the debates will be judged on practical effectiveness, urgency, and impact.
Chief Judge, I will start my speech by saying, you cannot treat the symptoms without identifying what causes the symptoms. Chief Judge, Team Affirmative is coming on board and they're saying they're going to protect the environment. They have not clarified to us, how are they going to protect the fish? How? In what measures? What are they going to use to protect that fish? They're just coming here and leaving us fly like peppers in the wind, left to fly. They just say they're going to protect fish. We understand you protect fish, but in which ways? How will you protect the fish? They came here and we're talking about it will get employment opportunities. How? Are you aware that there's employment in protecting the environment? What about the NEMA? Which body is that? Does it not promote food chain. For example, if you protect the animals, you're protecting. For example, like in our own work, we told them that we are going to protect the animals through environment. There are bodies that protect these animals, like the name are Natural Environmental Protection and Wildlife Authorities. What are these? These are under environmental protection policies that have been existing. So rather we put more focus on these bodies rather than bringing new things. They have just care of animals. Which body will you use to bring new things rather to shift this focus? It's rather for us. It has been working. We believe that this body has been working and they just come here, they have not told us what impact should they have if they protect the animals. What will be their impact? What will be their benefits? They have not told us. They came there, what will you achieve if you protect the animals? They have not told us what they will achieve at the end of the day. Chief Judge, we are going to make the baby come in our own words. We are going to protect the animals indirectly through these bodies, like I told, the wildlife authorities which are under the environment. They are protecting these animals indirectly. And if we protect the environment, we are rather protecting. Is for example, to solve the root cause that it is you cannot start cutting a tree from here. You start from down. If you solve the root cause, we are going to protect the animals. For example, we talked about protecting species of animals. Are you aware that species are protected in game parks? And what are these? These are under environmental conventions, organizations that are under it. So it's rather for us to protect. They are not aware of the other components of the environment. What will you do to the other components of the environment if you leave them alone and we shift our focus to animals? Chief Judge, our points of argument is that ecosystems are foundation and root causes. We are going to solve the root causes. Animals depend on healthy ecosystem for survival, fosters oceans and
Started my speech at 1, 3, 2, 1. The slogan behind the prize speech, there are no answers. Therefore, this makes us definitely to win this debate because we have a couple of questions that Team Affirmative is ready to answer them. Now, the first question was now, how do they care for the animals that they are talking about? Yes, they say animals, but now, looking at the fact that they are protecting the animals, it's like they are starting from the environment and then they are coming to the animals because they already agreed with us when we fight the problem of environment, animals are going to benefit. Therefore, they are not catering for the animals directly, but they are agreeing with the fact that we are protecting the animals indirectly by protecting the environment first. Now, what is the main question in this debate? That which approach serves the environment better? Is it now shifting focus to protecting animals or remaining just under protecting the environment? Yes, because we believe there are bodies that still protect the wildlife or maybe the animals. But now, the body that is environmental activism, this is a body that focuses on the environment itself. But we feel that body should not shift because the environment plays a key role in the existence of the animals that they are talking about, the birds, the fish, the whatever, all those things, they rely on the environment. Therefore, when we tackle the problem of the environment itself, you find that those organisms, they are going to indirectly benefit from the environment. Then why should we shift a focus to animals? No, they have not even told us how effective is their factor, how effective is their system. Now, how sure are we that their system is going to work better? Because we believe our system is going to work when we put these strict laws as we got from our first speech up to the last speech. So we tell you clearly that we are going to put strict laws that will guide the activities of humans on the environment. Now, things to do with regulating pollution, things to do like regulating deforestation. But all that we are achieving climate, environmental protection. So when we protect the environment first, animals are going to benefit. So I'd like to rest this case that we win this debate by our minds, our voice, and our victory. Thank you.
Now, I'll be beginning my speech in 3, 2, 1 for the reply speeches. Opposition presents problems of birds, animals, and fish suffering because of their habitats not being protected. But we present solutions of gazetting land to protect these animals, sensitizing people about the need to protect extincting animals, setting strict laws against cruelty against animals, and keeping fish in aquariums. That is the new innovation that the world has brought to keep fish out of water which is acidic. Why we win is that animals feel pain, anxiety, and suffer from depression. We present clear solutions and evidences of different animals feeling pain while a plant saved from extinction. And then on animals driving ecosystem protection. Opposition claim that protecting ecosystems protects animals automatically, but proposition respond, in reality animals motivate environmental protection. Why do people drive themselves to protect this environment? Is it not because they want to see the animals happy? Why proposition wins here is when activists focus on animals, governments are forced to protect their habitats too. Impact here is animal protection indirectly saves entire ecosystems. And then presenting focus on broad environmental agenda. Opposition claim environmental activism should focus on broad ecological issues, but proposition present the broad environmental activism often becomes too general and ineffective. Because when you have to focus on the entire world's environment, sometimes it's not enough. What if somewhere in some place the African elephants are going extinct? How will you notice them? So we say that when you focus more on the animals, you will easily notice them and give us the clearer accountability. So the impact here is clear goals lead to better policy and stronger protection laws. Thank you very much.
All right. You're feeling it, right? It's hard, right? It's nice, right? But at the end of the day, only one team deserves to sit in this bench for the grand finals, right? We don't know which side have won. All we just had these speeches, right? So, all I can say right now is that it's a very good debate. Very good one, okay? It's a very good one. And you're giving us a question of going back to the facts now, so to present it to get a team that wins. Altogether. We're not declaring which team wins right now because we have another semi-final that's going on. So when you start having our lunch, when they are done, that means that we also declare that this school and this school are going to the grand final altogether. So for now, what I can just say is that thank you very much. It was a very good debate. You guys had a lot of analysis and I like the research. I like the confidence that you all brought on board. But however, in a debate there's always a winner and a loser, right? So if you lose, you take it in good faith, altogether. If you win, you also take it in a way that you have to better to win the next round, okay? Otherwise, I wish you all the best for the team that's going to reach the finals. Thank you. You will excuse us for some few minutes. I think, yes, this is not a battlefield then. So